What's going on, everybody? It's your boys over Days off DFS here to bring in that NBA slate breakdown for the 6-game NBA slate we got today. We got an early tip off at 6 p.m. tonight. I know I'm getting this video out very late. Originally wasn't gonna do a video, but I at least want to stay consistent, give you guys a little bit something. So I'll be giving you guys my slate plan, how I plan on attacking the slate myself. I'm not gonna go game by game. I will save that for tomorrow. We will continue that on tomorrow, but especially just for the fact of it is the early lock. Literally by the time this video gets uploaded will be 2 hours. It's 2 hours from this video getting uploaded. So hopefully I'm gonna try to make it very quick. Go over literally how I think you're gonna build, talk about the key news in regards to the questionable players and stuff like that. And we're just gonna keep it rocking and rolling from there. Hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves, having a very good Sunday. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I'm putting out over here on this channel, and drop a like on the video so that way it helps not only myself but other people who are trying to find DFS content for the NBA as well. Hopefully you guys were able to cash, do a little bit something yesterday. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. Yesterday was not a good day for myself. I definitely didn't have the greatest line last night. Last minute, of course, with Joel Embiid news, which I uploaded, talked about it on the Patreon in the post, letting you guys know in regards to who we should go ahead and target. I wish I went with Markieff Morris. That definitely would have helped my line a little bit, and then I probably could have played someone like Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, something like that. But I do still, I like what I did in regards to going with the Washington players. They did keep the game pretty close, decently. Poole and Kuzma, bounce back games for both of them. Could have been a better slate overall for them. Faded Maxey, and I went with Kelly Oubre against my gut, but it was just one of those things where it's like, when you talk down, it's like, okay, this player is going to do the opposite of what I'm expecting for them to do. So that's exactly what I went ahead and did. Boom, Kelly went out there, smashed, beautiful night. I just wish that I probably would have had some of the other cheap pieces like a Markieff Morris or something like that. Didn't fall for the Reed trap. Reed, straight up trap. Stuck with Hartenstein. Hartenstein to me was in the better position, better matchup and everything anyway, and is a much better fantasy point per minute producer in his time while being out there. Decent usage, really great rebounder, all the above. Beautiful. I loved it. Definitely went with that route. Wish I didn't play Josh Hart. That's the one that I wish I would have pivoted and would have went with Markieff Morris instead. But hey, you live, you learn, and you continue to grow with this stuff. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get into tonight's slate. Hopefully you guys are having a pretty good NFL Sunday as well. Key news and stuff. These two early games, not worried about that. Atlanta, nothing we got to worry about over there. Orlando is going to be the biggest thing because they have all these players that are questionable, doubtful, all the above. Straight up, we need to know if Black's going to be back. He tried to play in the last game, but from my understanding, he was just sick, so he left. Goga, I didn't see anything on Goga. Let's go ahead. Let's look that up real quick. Goga initially, why did you leave the last game? Illness as well. So if Goga is out, then of course we'll figure out how to target that. But Wendell Carter Jr., game time decision. Marco Fultz, game time decision. All these other guys, France, Jonathan Isaac, Joe Ingles, Harris, they're all going to be out. For the Pelicans, Zion, just need to know if he's going to be in or out. If Zion's going to be out, it's going to boost up players like Najee Marsh and some of the other guys off the bench. Jonas Valanciunas, Brandon Ingram, and CJ McCollum all get a boost and a bump. And CJ playing out of his mind right now. Over here for the Kings, nothing to worry about for them. Minnesota Timberwolves, nothing to worry about for them. Dallas, of course, we need to know if Luka's is going to be in or out. Luka sat out the last game that they played. Fully expect for him to be back just because they didn't need him in that last game, which, of course, Kyrie and the rest of the cast, Hardy, all of them, they handled it very well. Easy day. So I do fully expect Luka to play. This should be a pretty good matchup, pretty good game that you would actually want Luka to play in. Detroit taking on Denver Nuggets. Nothing really to report. Alex Burke, game time decision, but fully expect for him to play. Over here for the Denver Nuggets side, they are going to be without Schroeder, so maybe that might bump up some more minutes for players like Peyton Watson and for Braum off the bench. Other than that, starters, all that jazz looks really good over there for them. And if you guys do remember the last time that the Denver Nuggets played Detroit, Joker got tossed. Memphis taking on the Phoenix Suns. Game time decision. We do need to know if Ja's going to be in or out. If he's going to be out, then of course it's going to boost players like Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr. Players coming off the bench like Zaire Williams. Those guys, they all will get a boost up if he's going to be out. Over here for the Phoenix Suns side, KD, fully expect for him to play, so don't have to worry about that. And then last but not least, really should be a decent game right here. Toronto taking on Golden State Warriors. Chris Paul's going to be out for the next 4 to 6 weeks, I believe, because he fucked up his hand. And then Jonathan Kuminga, he is a game time decision, which we do need to know if he's going to be in or out. Because if he is going to miss, then that's going to boost up players like Dario Saric and other options, which I really... The only thing is that he was probable last slate, but then being put as questionable kind of makes me like he might not play. So really just something that I want to pay attention to note. He did play a lot of minutes last game, especially after being pulled and didn't close their game before, which was kind of strange and weird to me considering he was playing pretty well. Last game didn't look too hot out there, but so something to pay attention to. I will definitely keep an eye on that, but definitely is going to boost up players like Sark and all these other guys if Kuminga is going to miss. Heading over to DraftKings, decided to play the most on the site. That if you guys don't have an account, you want one, check the link down in the description below, along with all my other affiliates that I do play on, Prize Picks, Outlier, all those things. Check that down in the description below, along with the Dub Club, not the Dub Club, the Patreon. If you guys are looking for my player pool, my props, everything that I post up, all that is on the Patreon. And I will tell you guys right now, yesterday for the 2 props that I posted, which was Jason Tatum, loved his rebounds and assists. Same thing for Shane Goat, loved both of their rebounds and assists. That was posted as my play of the day. Boom, lo and behold, crashed. I want to say that's for the past 2 days. I've been focusing more on just like not trying to put out a big list of plays and everything, more going with what I really do feel very strongly with, what the data is backing up for me, and so far it's really paying off for the year. So definitely check that out if you guys are looking for more prop plays. All right, heading over to the slate. Game plan, how I plan on attacking the slate. It shouldn't come as any surprise. Main game, of course, I'm going to want to look at is going to be this Atlanta and Orlando game. Pretty decent total on the slate. I want to say sitting at a 238.5. I want to say it's the highest total on the slate currently right now. We have a shorthanded Orlando team. Pretty much this is literally why all these questionable tags, depending on which way they fall, the dominoes fall on that. It's just some juice and stuff to go around, especially with a main starter in Markelle, not Markelle Fultz, in Fultz, or not Fultz. Gosh, why do I keep looking at that name? Where is France, with France being out. So Paolo, he's going to get a boost and bump in his usage. Suggs, same thing for him. Cole Anthony's going to be off the bench. If Goga was to miss, if they put Wagner back into the starting lineup, dude balled out last game that he started. 38 minutes, dropped 43.75 fantasy points. Beautiful fantasy point per minute production from him right there. And then they're sliding Chuma Okeke into the starting lineup. So playing starting roles, starting minutes. Don't mind going to Chuma Okeke as a value play on the slate, period. Just for the fact of he's going to start, he's going to play the burn run. It's going up against Atlanta, fast-paced team. Should definitely play into the favor of more possessions and things like that. Opposing small forwards playing against them have done pretty decent so far in the season. So I definitely don't mind Chuma. I know he's not going to really get a whole bunch of tons of shots up, but he's at least going to be able to do a little bit in regards to the defensive side and get us some rebounds. And if he can just claw and scratch his way to getting me at least double-digit points to 10, I will take that for a 4,600 player. Now, outside of that, Jalen Suggs sitting at 6'7", really do like the upside for him, especially with all these guards that they're down. Even if Anthony Black is back or not, I still really do like Jalen Suggs. As long as he can go out there, he's going to get his shots. He's going to have to take them. With another player like France not being out there that takes about 15 to 16 shots himself, those shot attempts, as we've seen, 18, 15 shot attempts in those last 2 games, they should be there. And as long as he's actually making them, and we do know Atlanta doesn't play defense as well as most other teams. And earlier prior to the game that they played early in the season going up against them, he did drop 30 plus fantasy points in that game versus them. Same thing for Paolo. Really do like the upside for him as well. Definitely should be able to eat. If you can tell me go out here and get another triple double, not gonna hate mind that at all by any means necessary. I really do like Paolo as another pay up stud. Over here on the other side for Atlanta, my runbacks that I really do want to go to, Trae Young definitely is a bounce back spot for him. Dropped 27 fantasy points in that last game against Indy. Granted, it was a blowout. DeJounte Murray had a much better game in that game. 34 minutes, dropped 30 points, 34.75 fantasy points. Hopefully, we can actually get a little bit of stuff into the stat sheet here for DeJounte Murray. I really do like Murray over Trae Young once again, just because Murray seems to come out the gates actually ready to play the game. Trae, he's going to set everyone up and then somewhat takes over towards the second half of the games. And I will take the value that I can get from DeJounte Murray here over Trae Young. Outside of that, I'm going to go right back to my DFS darling, and that's going to be Jalen Johnson, sitting at that 7.2 price tag. About reasonable for him. Should be a decent matchup for him. Fast-paced game going up against Orlando. Decent opposing power forwards versus them have done very well so far on the season. Paolo, he's a decent defender, but he's not locked down by any means necessary. So definitely do think there's going to be some upside in going with Jalen Johnson as well as a possible run back. If I'm going to play some Markelle Fultz, Chuma Okeke. Chuma Okeke, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Paolo, Wagner, depending on if Goga is going to be back. Now, if Goga is back, I don't mind going to Goga. We have seen opposing starting centers have done decent going against Clint Capella so far this season. And Goga can stretch the floor. He can go out there and knock down some threes. So definitely some upside and stuff right there for him if you want to go that route instead. Now, outside of that, I do have some interest in the Toronto and Golden State Warriors game. I do still believe that they have my boy Quickly. He's still priced too low for me. 6'8", starting. He's going to get that burn and run. Those minutes, they're going to be there for him. The points, the assists, the rebounding, it's all there. And I really do like the upside. He is my favorite prop on today. They had his points and assists sitting at 23.5, if I'm not mistaken. And he's practically covered that since he's gotten to the Raptors. So really do like the upside for him here in this position spot. Going right back to him. Don't hate the upside for him there. And then if you want to mess with some other players like Jakopoto, Scotty Barnes, don't hate mine either one of those. But my main guy that I want to get to from this game specifically, late night hammer for me, is going to be Iman Quickly. Outside of that, on the Golden State Warriors side, with no Chris Paul, Curry's going to go right back to the starting point guard position. Interesting to see if they maybe start Andrew Wiggins for the starting lineup that they have projected right now. They got Pod, which wouldn't surprise me if they go ahead and slide Pod into the starting spot. Not going to mind that. Don't mind going to Pod. Pretty good upside. He already kind of plays starter minutes as is. And the rebounding, the assist upside, it's there. He's very good out there, flowing with the starters. And don't mind paying down to him at 6'3". Really good upside for him. Now, Kuminga is going to be the real big question mark. If we're going to lean and just play the game theory of Kuminga is going to be out, who else are they going to be able to slide into that position spot? Maybe they go ahead and start Andrew Wiggins, but off the bench, that's going to give us some more minutes probably for players like Dario Saric, which I can imagine coming out here has played very well over his last several games. 32.25 fantasy points against Denver, 23.25 going up against the Detroit Pistons. Pretty much a fantasy point per minute production for the guy while he's out there. And he is one of those really good fantasy point producing players whenever he is on the court. I do like the upside and everything for him here in the spot. So I wouldn't mind going right back to Dario Saric at 4.5. That is some true value that we can get right there. Now, outside of that, other studs that I do want to mention that I will have some consideration in, Denver, the Joker, Jalen Duren, he should be able to go out here and defend and everything, as long as he keeps himself out of foul trouble. Don't hate or mind going to the Joker at all. We know if the game stays close, the upside is going to be there for him. Tremendous player, great. Don't mind him as a possible spin up. And then on the other side, GPP option, I do like Jalen Duren, even though this game has a 16.5 point spread in favor of the Denver Nuggets, as it rightfully should, because let's be honest, it is Detroit. I don't mind going with the Joker or with Duren. Now, a value play in this game that I think you can get to, who has a pretty good matchup, and if you want to count revenge narrative because he did play for Detroit, don't mind going with KCP. Sitting there at 4.8, you can tell me he can go out there, maybe knock down 3 threes, get at least 2 steals, couple of rebounds, something like that. I do like the upside for him as well as another possible play. Outside of that, Dallas game, if you want to go with Luka over the Joker as your stud, that definitely does make some sense. This game should be a close game. Could see going with some Anthony Edwards or some Karl-Anthony Towns to get from that game. Value that we can actually get in this game is going to be coming from Naz Reid or Kyle Anderson. Do like both those guys off the bench, as Dallas has given up really great points to opposing power forwards and small forward reserves when they do come into the game. Now, from this main game right here, the first game, if Zion is going to be out, we already have Jose Alvarado out, then we do know that we are going to see some minutes and burn for Dyson Daniels. He should get a pretty decent bump in his minutes. As you can see, he's been playing 20 plus minutes over his last several games. But outside of that, if Zion's going to miss, I do like CJ should be able to come out here going up against the fast-paced Sacramento Kings. The upside will be there for CJ to go out here and do what he's been doing so far over his last several games, which has been coming out pretty hot. And then with Zion being out, that should bump up Jonas to go out there and have a decent game. But again, you guys know I do like Larry Nance sitting right there in the wake at 4,500. He's been playing pretty good, giving you at least 20 plus fantasy points in all of his games that he has played so far. So, of course, with no Zion, I do like the upside for Larry Nance. And, of course, off the bench, for my guys like Trey Murphy, Najee Marsh, those guys will also get their bumps as well. Outside of that, guys, that's really going to be it for me. If you guys got any questions, talk to me down in the comment section. If you are sub to the Patreon, ask me questions on the link whenever I do go ahead and post in my player pool, and of course kind of the written version of what I all just said sitting right here for this. Definitely hope you guys do have a great day and cash out. Didn't really mention the Phoenix or Memphis game. That's just simply because I really don't have a side that I'm leaning to. If Ja's going to be out, then of course I'm going to have some interest in Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, and Jaren Jackson Jr., and possibly some guys off the bench. But outside of that, not looking too deep into this one right here. I will have all those stocks posted on site though. Good luck to everybody. Hopefully, guys, you do cash out, and also your NFL is doing great. Peace.